So the reason I will not be playing in a PGA Tour event is due to the rules and regulations around media rights and filming during tournament play of a PGA Tour event.
It started with a camera, a vlog, and a question the PGA Tour was hoping no one would ask. Grant Horvat isn't a tour pro. He's not backed by legacy media. But when he picked up a mic and started uploading golf videos to YouTube, he became one of the most influential voices in the sport and the PGA Tour. They were not happy about it. Despite pulling in more eyeballs than most tour stops, he was denied access. No credentials, no filming, no behind-the-scenes content. And then, like clockwork, the excuses started rolling in: rules, broadcast rights, and media protocols. But this wasn't about protocol. It was about power. Because when a digital creator outperforms billion-dollar TV networks using nothing but a GoPro, the old guard doesn't just get nervous, they start drawing lines in the sand. This isn't just about Grant Horvat versus the PGA Tour. This is about who owns the game of golf in 2025 and whether the future is created in boardrooms or on YouTube. The moment everything snapped came in a single sentence from Grant Horvat: "I won't be playing in a PGA Tour event, not because I can't compete, but because of their rules around filming and media access." What sounded like a minor technicality revealed something much bigger. The PGA Tour was actively locking out independent creators from documenting their experience on the course. No filming, no behind-the-scenes footage, no YouTube uploads. For a platform that thrives on authenticity and audience connection, this wasn't just a rejection, it was a muzzle. Horvat didn't hold back. He called out the PGA Tour for creating what he described as a gatekeeping system, one that favors traditional TV networks while systematically sidelining the very creators, bringing millions of young fans to the sport. The same network deals that pump hundreds of millions into the PGA's pocket each year were now doubling as a wall, blocking creators from offering a modern lens into professional golf. And the numbers don't lie. Horvat's channel generates 8 to 12 million monthly views on YouTube, sometimes more than what CBS or NBC pull in for an entire PGA event. His audience is fast, young, and loyal. Meanwhile, the tour's grip on broadcast TV has started to wither. Ratings are down, viewers are aging out, and yet the PGA is clinging to the same outdated playbook that worked 20 years ago. When Horvat made his announcement, social media exploded. Within 48 hours, his statements racked up over 2.3 million impressions, instantly outshining most of the tour's own official PR. But what really shook the room? Pro golfers started messaging him privately. Quiet support, quiet frustration. Because they knew he was right, but speaking out could put their own careers at risk. This wasn't just one man being silenced. This was a warning shot. The PGA Tour wasn't just refusing a YouTuber access, it was sending a message to every digital creator. You're growing too fast, you're getting too powerful, and we're not ready to give up control. But what they didn't realize was that the audience might already have made that choice for them. On the surface, golf still looks traditional: green jackets, hushed commentators, and neatly cut fairways. But behind the scenes, there's a full-blown identity crisis unfolding. Two completely different worlds are competing for control. On one side, you've got the broadcast-era titans, the PGA Tour, CBS, NBC. Legacy institutions worth billions, built on exclusive rights, predictable programming schedules, and tightly managed image control. They've operated the same way for decades. Partner with networks, sell ad time, and keep everything buttoned up for Sunday afternoon TV. And on the other side, you've got creators with a camera, an audience, and a different style of storytelling altogether. No suits, no scripts. Just real personalities, authentic reactions, and a connection with fans that corporate media can't replicate. People like Grant Horvat, Good Golf, and dozens more who aren't just content creators anymore. They're the new media companies. And here's the part that's keeping PGA executives up at night. Horvat's individual videos frequently rack up over 500,000 views within a week. That's more than many non-major PGA events get in an entire broadcast window. Even worse for the tour, at least, is the demographic shift behind those numbers. The PGA Tour's average TV viewer is 64 years old. Horvat's audience? Overwhelmingly under 35. Brands know exactly where their future customers are watching, and it's not on traditional TV. It's on YouTube. It's on TikTok. And it's skipping commercials. The PGA Tour is still operating like it's 2005, trying to protect television deals that are aging faster than their audience. It's a model based on scarcity, limited access, limited footage, limited freedom. But creators? They're built on the opposite idea: content everywhere, all the time, with no middleman. And that's the real battle here. It's not just about one denied credential, it's about which world survives. Broadcast golf, created behind velvet ropes and negotiated rights? Or digital golf raw, fast, and made for the algorithm? The PGA Tour thought it could split the difference, but Horvat's clash with the system may have just exposed the truth. You can't serve both masters anymore. If you're wondering why the PGA Tour is so afraid of a few YouTubers with cameras, the answer is simple. Money. A lot of it. The PGA Tour's entire media model is built on one thing: exclusive broadcast deals. CBS, NBC, and ESPN pay roughly $700 million a year to air PGA events. But that money doesn't come without strings. In exchange, these networks expect complete control over what's shown, when it's aired, and who gets access to the course. It's a closed system, tailored for TV, a system that creators like Horvat are now blowing up from the outside. To traditional media companies, YouTubers aren't just disruptive, they're dangerous. Because creators aren't bound by commercial breaks, highlight restrictions, or outdated production playbooks, they move faster, connect deeper, and often rack up more views from a golf vlog than CBS can generate from a Sunday final round. And here's the part that scares the networks the most. Those views are free, no multi-million-dollar licensing deals, no broadcast rights, no gatekeeping. To protect the old system, the PGA Tour has built invisible fences, credential limits, filming bans, carefully worded regulations, all of it designed not for player safety, like they claim, but to protect broadcast exclusivity. Instead of evolving, the tour chose to lock the doors. Ask yourself, why is someone like Horvat, with a loyal, engaged audience and a positive impact on the game, being sidelined while the same networks that post 30-second highlight reels are allowed full access? It's about ownership. Whoever controls the cameras controls the narrative. And right now, the PGA thinks they still do. But the numbers say otherwise. Over the last 3 seasons, regular PGA Tour broadcasts have lost 15 to 20% of their viewership. Engagement is down, audience age is up. Sponsorship value is slipping. Meanwhile, YouTube golf is exploding. For years, the PGA believed they could keep both worlds separate: TV over here, YouTube over there. But now, creators are crossing into territory the tour desperately wants to protect. The stranglehold is slipping, and keeping the creators out might only be making them more powerful. The PGA Tour might be good at shutting down YouTubers publicly, but behind the scenes, they're losing control of the room. As soon as Grant Horvat went public with his frustrations, his DMs lit up with messages from actual PGA Tour pros. Messages of support. Messages of agreement. Messages that all said the same thing: you're right. But I can't say this out loud. Because while many of these players see the value creators bring: fresh energy, new fans, real personality, they also know who controls their futures. Tour officials decide everything from sponsor exemptions to team selections for events like the Ryder Cup and President's Cup. Speaking out against the media system can mean being quietly blacklisted. So the players stay silent, at least in public. And the divide grows louder by the day. But players aren't the only ones caught in the middle. Brands are too. Equipment giants like Callaway, TaylorMade, and Titleist spend millions sponsoring both tour professionals and YouTube creators. They've seen the numbers, they know the impact, and now they're walking a tightrope. Supporting creators like Horvat helps expand their audience, but cozying up to YouTubers too much could upset the PGA and jeopardize TV exposure that still drives big brand visibility during major tournaments. The result? 2 faced campaigns. One side of the marketing team funds traditional commercials featuring top-ranked pros, while the other quietly cuts 6-figure deals with creators filming matches using handheld cameras at local munis. It's a balancing act no one wants to admit is broken. Corporate faces stiffen. Tour pros stay quiet. And the fans? They're left asking the obvious question: if the players support these creators, and the fans want more of this content, and the brands are getting better returns from YouTube than from Sunday coverage, why is the PGA Tour still standing in the way? Because at its core, this isn't a debate about what's good for the game. It's a battle for who gets to define the future of it. On one side, you've got billion-dollar broadcast deals, bloated production teams, and 6 hours of airtime stretched across a quiet Sunday afternoon. On the other, a creator, 2 friends, a drone, and a $2,000 camera kit. And somehow, they're getting 3 times the views. This is the business model war the PGA Tour never expected and certainly wasn't prepared for. Traditional golf broadcasts are monsters. Producing a single televised event requires satellite trucks, union crews, broadcast towers, production directors, on-site engineers, and a ballooning overhead that demands at least 1.5 to 2 million viewers just to break even on ad revenue. Most PGA events don't even come close. Meanwhile, Grant Horvat and creators like him are generating 500,000 plus views per video, using a 3-person crew, a few wireless mics, and 0 need for broadcast approval. Their average view duration? Over 12 minutes, a monstrous stat by social media standards. That's higher than average cable watch time. Translation: these aren't passive views. They're loyal, locked-in, high-retention audiences, the kind advertisers love. And creators are building full-time businesses around it. Horvat's estimated monthly revenue from YouTube ads alone sits between $30,000 and $60,000, and that's before sponsorships, merch, or affiliate deals. Compare that to the tour, where a player ranked 115th in the FedEx Cup might earn $500K across a full season, minus travel expenses, hotels, caddies, agents, and entry fees. Content creators? No entry fees, no cuts missed, no pressure to finish T20 just to keep the lights on. And brands have noticed. Today, companies would rather pay a creator $50,000 for a single branded video with built-in audience trust than throw $100,000 into a commercial during a Week 1 4-tour event that 800,000 people might skip entirely. That shift doesn't just threaten golf content. It threatens who golf decides is valuable. Because if you can inspire millions, drive product sales, and grow the sport, all without touching a leaderboard, why would a brand care where you ranked last Sunday? In this war, performance isn't the product anymore, attention is. And right now, the creators are running away with it. The PGA Tour has a major problem. And it's not slow rounds, weak fields, or low ratings. It's something far scarier. No one under 40 is watching anymore. According to Nielsen, the average PGA Tour viewer is 64 years old, and that number's climbing. While streaming platforms thrive and younger generations flock to digital content, the PGA's audience just keeps aging. It's not even a gradual shift anymore, it's a collapse. Since 2015, the number of under 40 viewers watching golf on traditional TV has dropped by nearly 30%. That's not a dip, that's a mass exodus. The kind you can't win back with a promo or a Tiger Woods highlight reel from 15 years ago. And where's that younger demographic going? Straight to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, where creators like Grant Horvat, Good, and Micah Morris have built full-blown media empires, fueled by relatable content, rapid editing, humor, and authenticity. They're not just attracting viewers, they're creating fans. When Horvat posts a video playing with buddies at Pebble Beach, it doesn't just outperform PGA content, it connects. It feels like hanging out with friends who happen to be elite golfers, not watching a sponsored broadcast with forced commentary and commercial breaks every 6 minutes. Younger audiences don't want highlight reels after the fact. They want the vibe, the energy, the storytelling, and that's something broadcast golf has never prioritized. Here's the scary part if you're the PGA Tour. Nearly all of its current media deals expire between 2027 and 2030. That means advertisers will be asking the hard question: where are the young viewers we're paying you to reach? And if the answer is, they're watching YouTube, those $700 million broadcast deals suddenly don't look like such a sure thing. In that world, content creators aren't just competition. They're the new gatekeepers to the next generation of golf fans. So when the tour blocks creators from filming on-site, they're not just enforcing rules, they're betting their entire future on an audience that's already walking away. Let's be clear, the PGA Tour isn't the first sports league to panic when it starts losing the younger audience. But it might be the last one not doing anything about it. Just look at what happened with the NBA. A decade ago, the league tried hard to control player content, no cameras in the locker room, no leaked warm-up routines, nothing outside official media windows. Same story we've heard from the PGA Tour. But then came LeBron, then Steph, Then social media blew up. Players started posting behind-the-scenes stories, workout clips, tunnel fits, and fans went crazy for it. The NBA finally realized something crucial. Letting players tell their own stories didn't weaken the brand, it supercharged it. Now, the NBA encourages player-driven content. There are media days, but also social teams. There are sideline interviews, but also TikToks straight from the stars' phone cameras. And the result? The NBA has one of the youngest, most digitally engaged audiences in global sports. The NFL eventually followed suit. It took time, but once the league saw the massive engagement that came from locker room videos and mic'd-up moments, they built entire digital programs around it. The PGA Tour? Still blocking creators from filming tee shots on the range. Meanwhile, LIV Golf, yes, the controversial rival backed by Saudi money is doing the opposite. They've been actively credentialing YouTubers, giving full access, even building locker room content around creators. LIV made a simple but savage calculation. They're already facing mainstream backlash, so they need every possible angle to grab attention, and creators are the fastest way to do it. And it's working. Their social clips go viral, their events spark conversation, not because of golf purists, but because they're giving creators the tools to make golf culture feel modern. So ask yourself this. If LIV, the league that most traditional fans rejected, can build momentum by embracing the audience PGA Tour is chasing, what happens next? What happens when fans no longer care who's playing on tour because they care more about who's filming? This isn't the future threatening the sport. It's the future saving it. And the PGA Tour's refusal to adapt is starting to look less like protection and more like self-sabotage. 5 years ago, if you wanted a six-figure golf sponsorship, you needed one thing, a PGA Tour card. Today, you might just need 500,000 loyal subscribers and a camera. For decades, the sponsorship ladder in golf was clear. If you cracked the top 125 on the money list, you could expect equipment and apparel deals totaling anywhere between $200,000 and $500,000 per year. Higher ranks meant bigger bonuses. Win a tournament? Even better. But the new sponsorship math doesn't care about world ranking points. It cares about reach, and creators are winning that battle by wide margins. A YouTuber like Horvat or a collective like Good produces more impressions per month than most players ranked in the top 50 inches the world. And brands have caught on. Callaway, TaylorMade, and Titleist once poured their budgets exclusively into tour partnerships. Now, they're cutting seven-figure deals with creators not just to sell equipment, but to buy into culture, engagement, and authenticity. TaylorMade's content investment in creators grew by 40% between 2022 and 2024, while their tour player spend stayed flat. Why? Because a content series with a creator reaches buyers every week, not just 4 Sundays a year. And these deals are structured entirely differently. Where pros get paid to use gear and play well with it, creators are paid to review and feature it across platforms. One driver integration in a YouTube video, shown during a course vlog, that's worth $50 Kelvins. A 3-part branded content series? Try 6 figures. And there's no worrying about missed cuts or bad rounds. For brands, it's guaranteed reach. For creators, it's reliable cash without the travel grind or performance pressure. In fact, some creators now earn more than mid-tier tour players, and they do it from public courses with 360 cameras, not PGA venues with ropes and galleries. The industry has flipped. Equipment deals, course referrals, affiliate revenue, they're now flowing toward creators who can inspire fans in minutes, not players who grind through 72 holes unseen by half the world. And if you're an upcoming golfer trying to decide where to focus, build a swing that makes a scorecard proud, or build content that makes sponsors care? More and more, the answer is obvious. The PGA Tour isn't just resisting change, it's betting its entire future on a system that's already crumbling. Right now, the tour survives thanks to billion-dollar media deals. CBS, NBC, and ESPN write massive checks, holding up the PGA's financial structure like pillars. But those pillars have expiration dates between 2027 and 2030. All those deals are up for renewal. And the networks are watching the numbers. They're seeing shrinking viewership, aging audiences, and sponsors asking harder questions. Who are we really reaching here? Why are ratings down every season? Where are the 2 5-year-olds? And the answer? They're watching YouTube. They're following creators who play 2v2 scrambles at Bandon Dunes, not final round coverage of the Sanderson Farms Championship. This creates a nightmare scenario for the tour. To keep their current deals, they have to protect their existing broadcast partners. But to reach the next generation, they need creators to build a new fan base. And here's the paradox. Protecting the past actively destroys the future. By blocking YouTubers like Horvat, they keep the networks happy for now. But they also drive creators to build their own ecosystem, one completely outside PGA control. Fans already prefer it. Sponsors are following it. And if the tour waits too long to embrace it, they might not have anything left to bargain with come 2027. Because what happens when an entire generation of golf fans grows up watching digital golf, not PGA tournaments? They won't miss it. They'll think this, the vlogs, the challenges, the personality-driven content is what golf is. And honestly, they wouldn't be wrong. If the tour doesn't evolve fast, it doesn't just risk losing viewers. It risks becoming irrelevant in the very sport it's supposed to govern. The time for slow changes and media policies has passed. What's coming next isn't a content shift, it's a cultural one. And the PGA Tour is running out of time to catch up. When Grant Horvat clashed with the PGA Tour, most people thought it was just about media passes. It wasn't. It was about something far bigger. Because whether the PGA Tour wants to admit it or not, this isn't just a media debate anymore. It's a power struggle, one that impacts not only who gets to film golf, but who gets to shape its future. The old way says golf belongs to the institutions, the broadcasters, the networks, the suits in meeting rooms who decide what gets approved, what gets shown, and who gets paid. The new way says golf belongs to the people watching and the creators they choose to watch. Right now, millions of fans are making their choice loud and clear. They're following the creators. They're tuning in for authenticity, not sponsorship logos. For casual matches at public courses, not sanitized interviews behind sponsor boards. And if the PGA Tour keeps blocking that movement instead of joining it, it risks doing the one thing no sports league can afford: becoming invisible to the next generation. That's the real threat. Not lower ratings, not rebellious YouTubers. Irrelevance. Because algorithm-driven platforms aren't waiting for the tour to catch up. Neither are the fans, or the brands, or the players messaging Horvat in secret, scared to speak publicly about what they all know. The current model can't survive much longer. So now the question becomes, can tradition and innovation coexist? Can the PGA Tour evolve fast enough to stay relevant, or will it cling to broadcast deals and credential rules until the digital era passes it by? It's not just golf that faces this reckoning. It's every industry, every platform, every legacy organization trying to control a conversation that's no longer theirs. But golf, more than most, was built on identity, on who gets included and who gets shut out. So maybe the biggest question of all isn't about creators or credentials. Maybe it's this: who should decide what golf looks like, the ones writing checks behind the scenes? Or the millions of people actually watching it? The next 5 years will decide. And if the PGA Tour doesn't move fast, someone else will.